Brick here. We're doing a one-day playthrough of this war of mine. So as you can see here, it's not a very uplifting game. Marco died. I sent him out to scavenge for food, and he got shot and killed. So the game takes place in a war-torn city, and you start out with 3 characters. So each of those characters has different abilities. So here we have Marin's a handyman, I have a fast runner, and I have a good cook. The guy that died, Marco, which I eventually got later, was good at scavenging, so he had a bigger backpack. So in this city, your premise is to survive through the war. You're not soldiers, you're not anything, you're just people that lived here, and you're working together to make it from day to day. And the reasons that you won't make it are, 1, you run out of food. So if you look down the right corner, Pavel is hungry. So you got to find a way to get food, or cook food, or grow food eventually. The other way you can die, or I guess end the game, is from giving up. If you look, everyone now in my group is sad because Marco, who was with us for a long time, just died. So now my group's sad. So the way to stop sadness is to play music, allow people to fulfill their vices. So some people are smokers, some people are coffee drinkers, some people just want to read. So if you can find a way to get them cigarettes or coffee or books, and they can sit on a chair and get their mind off the war, their sadness will go down. The other thing is sleep. They need to sleep, so if you don't build a bed, they don't get a good night's sleep, they move slower, they have trouble doing things. And the other one would be sickness or injury. So if you don't get them food and they don't get sleep, they get sick, they will continue to get worse and worse until they recover. And the same goes through getting stabbed or someone breaking in and injuring your person. So overall, pretty depressing. It's not like The Sims where you start off normal and get happier and have a bigger party and a bigger pool and a bigger hot tub and make more money. Here, you start off terrible and you're just trying to get to normal. You're just trying to be alive and survive. So, occasionally, someone will come to your door during the day, and sometimes they're there to trade. And if you have too many of one thing, you can trade it for whatever they have. So, let's see what this guy has here. Oh, these people live a couple blocks, and they're actually just bringing me food for free, because they're nice people. So that's rare in this game, that someone's just generous and brings you food. Usually a guy will come and trade with you. I'm sure someone might come and try and rob you. That hasn't happened to me yet. But there you have it. Some people come and just bring you food. So here's a look at the radio. You can learn what's going on. You can see if it's going to get cold out, because eventually you're going to need a furnace as the winter comes. You can learn which areas not to go to, because maybe they're dangerous. So building a radio is important. So if you take a look at the game, it's all in these black and white palette. It's just a black and white palette. There's realistic looking things like obviously this radio, but then a lot of the backgrounds seem to have this sketch filtered over it, like it was sketched. So it keeps the mood pretty somber in this game, which is the entire mood of the game anyway. Your only haven from the depressing music is actually building one of these radios and trying to find a classical station. Otherwise, you're listening to this somber, depressing music during the day, and obviously listening to gunshots and shells and like rain going on in the background. So everything about making you sad pretty much happens in this game. So eventually, day by day, you gotta collect things, build things so you can get all that food, get all the heat you need, get the water you need. It helps to get weapons, because at night someone may raid your place. It helps to board up your windows so people can't break in as easily. So during the day you're working on building new tools, making food, making filters, and when we finish this day scene, we'll go to a night scene where you have some other options. There's a little biography that goes with each character, and that updates every day, so they kind of let you know what's essential to survive in this game. If you watch, there's a clock in the top top left corner, and up there your time ticks away, so each certain skill takes a certain amount of time, and then as you approach 8 o'clock in the evening, it becomes nightfall, and then you have to think about who's gonna guard your house while you're sleeping, who's gonna actually have time to sleep, and who's gonna go out and scavenge for things out in the city. And I love this game because it brings so many difficult choices. Like, do you feed this person? Do you feed the other person? Do you spend your resources to stay warmer instead of food? When you go out and scavenge, do you rob an innocent person? If you don't, then you die. If you do, you feel terrible about it because they're innocent old people, but they have the food you need. So I love that this game hits on all those difficult questions and what it means to survive in a war-torn area. So here's a look at the night. So I'm going to send Pavel to scavenge because he's got a slightly bigger backpack, and I'm going to have my handyman guard, and my cook I would think is not really good at defending, so I'm going to let him sleep. So you get these areas that pop up, and you choose one to go visit, and in the right it shows you how many items, what percentage of items you've taken out of that place. So in this case, the shelled out cottage, I took 26%, and it tells you what kind of items are there, so you know which places to go scavenge. It also tells you if it's dangerous or not. So since your backpack has limited space, sometimes there's a few things you want to take, so I always take some kind of weapon and like a shovel or a crowbar to dig through everything a little quicker. Alright, so when you get to the nighttime, you have a less somber music and like a darker, scarier tone, which really puts the fear in you to kind of break into places, because you don't know if someone on the other side of the door is going to shoot you or stab you, or maybe they'll make a trade, or maybe they'll just give you something. But you have these loud explosions, this thunder, and you have this rumbling, almost heartbeat-like drum music going on that really gets your heart pumping and really puts the fear in you as you go through these buildings. When you pick the things up, you only have so much room in your backpack, so you can only grab so many things, and you also have only so much time at night to get all these things. As you walk, you'll make kind of a sound. It's like a dot will show up that shows that you're making sound when you do something that's noisy, and the same thing will happen for other people. So you'll see like a red dot when you get close enough that lets you know other people are around. So sometimes you have to make the decision: do you try and interact with that person and find out they're willing to trade, or do you avoid them because you don't want to get shot, or do you take them down because they probably would have took you down? So one of these days, a lady was getting raped in a grocery store, and I took down the guy that was raping her and ended up getting a machine gun out of it. So now I'm safer at night when people try and raid my house. But it's a huge risk because I could have got shot with the machine gun and I could be dead, game over, and have to start all over again. So these are all the choices that you have to face when you play this game. All of them are pretty scary, but all of them are the actual realities of war for the people that aren't even involved in it. And that's what I love about this game, is we play so many games like Call of Duty where we run around having fun blowing people's heads off and blowing up cities, but these are the results of those wars, and this game finally sheds light on what it's like to not be a part of the destruction, but be a symptom of the destruction. So definitely check out this war of mine. It's fantastic.
Help! Help! I'm being repressed!